Hello everyone. Well, it's time for the Joker's Trains Wood-Sided Reefer Challenge. So, here we go. Here's my entry. Just for the hell of it, I thought I would, I think most of the people that watch this channel are kind of East Coast fans. So, here's my one and only scale GG1 to start this off. Those of you who know GG1s will know the importance of this paint scheme, the web stripe. It's my favorite paint scheme. I won't go too far into it, but you guys will figure it out. This happens to be a Williams scale GG1 that I have owned for, God, I probably got this in 99, 2000, so it's pretty nice, pretty nice. I did unhook the sound system for this video, only because you know how you guys have been talking about how WTIU isn't liking certain transformers and base 3 vice versa because of sine wave signals. This locomotive is the same way. This was factory installed with OTT machine service sound, OTT or OMS, and it really prefers my post-war ZW to my Z4000. This outer loop here is the Z4000, so if I have it on here, it'll just constantly ring the bell. So we're gonna go sound free today. So anyway, enough of that locomotive. Let's move on to the reefers. I kind of liked the format in which Joker did it with his kind of describing everything. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So here we go. Reefer number 1. I actually acquired this fairly recently. Well, within like 2 years. This is a 36-foot MTH Columbia Soups. This thing's detailed to hell. It really is. Of all the reefers we're going to look at, it's actually got the most detailed undercarriage, which to me is kind of weird. I didn't think the MTH stuff was kind of worth anything, at least not in this class of freight car. But you can see it's a newer one. It's got the little air hose down there and everything. Real good detail underneath. I'm not going to flip it over. I can in a later video if somebody wants to. Good hatch detail. Everything opens just like a nice car should. Spring and sprung in trucks there. So nice little model. Nice little model. All right, reefer number 2. Everybody kind of knows what this is. So this is a K-line. This is a very late K-line, 2005 first edition catalog. All the good reefers came out in 2005 for K-line. We'll get into this in a minute. These two guys are very similar. That's obviously my newly acquired Atlas that I just absolutely had to grab. We need to talk about these reefers. Wow. You want my personal opinion? The K-line's nicer. Sorry. Yes, I said that. Your steps are more robust. They're all, this is all metal. I think they're metal on the Atlas too, but they're just not as strong. Everything here works. Look at your brake detail there, brake wheel, brake platform, all the rigging and everything coming down. Cut with coupler cut bar down there. Air hose on here. Let me see. There it goes. You can see it on the other side. Yes, I know this is weathered. I've explained it before. This is how my wife, this was her practice weathering project years and years ago, but I think it turned out pretty friggin' sweet. I do not have everything in this car right now, but you can. The roof comes off. There's ice bunkers at both sides, so you can put it. The car came with fake ice, so you can put ice in the bunkers, and it also has a hanging banana load that I do not have in it, but that's pretty cool. The other thing it came with, a little ahead of its time there, guys. This thing came with a separate set of scale couplers. So you could actually convert this to a KD, and they're die cast, but you could convert it to a die cast scale coupler, KD compatible if you wanted to. So, all right, next one. And this is 100% Joker's fault. I didn't even know this was made. So I had to find this. I paid way more than I would ever pay for a car for this, but I found this brand new. Public Delivery Track, which has now become my go-to store. So I highly suggest you guys check out Beth's store. It's very nice. She's in Paso Robles, California. Just a little bit north of Santa Barbara, so my home state, so I got no problem giving her any money. So anyway, so I needed to have this. Tivoli, yes, is the original Tivoli brewery building still stands. It is now the Student Union building on the Auraria campus. And it's, I can't remember if it's for DU or CSU, but anyway, it's down there at the Auraria campus, which is a local college in downtown Denver. So, I absolutely had to have this. Tivoli beer is still made. It is now a microbrew, and up until I think the restaurant itself is actually closed now temporarily for a remodel or something. But my wife and I used to eat there all the time. So I absolutely had to have this. Absolutely had to have this. This and the Kline are very similar. If you look up at the brake thing there, that's what I was talking about, how there isn't quite as much detail. All the doors and everything work the same, and underneath's about the same as well, detail on these guys. No removable roof on this one, though. But, and the only other thing is, I know some people care about this. I do not. You got spring and sproingins on the K-line. You do not on the... I mean, there's real springs in there. They just don't operate. You don't need that on a freight car. You want functioning suspension on either a diesel locomotive or a steam locomotive. So operating sprung trucks don't mean a hill of beans to me. But anyway, Joker, you really caused a problem. I'm going to buy a bunch of these. I really like these. These are cool. These are really cool. And just like when you get one of these, you're going to start buying these. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of this Atlas stuff. I've never had an Atlas reefer, so this is pretty cool. So anyway, on to the next one. Of course, I'm going to have a Pacific Fruit Express. This happens to be something you guys have never heard of. This is Crown Model Products. Crown Model Products came out in early to mid-90s. They brought out a nice set of scale freight cars. They use Weaver plastic trucks and couplers. Weaver did eventually acquire the tooling and were making these cars. These ones happen to be Crown Model Products. If anybody cares the way you tell, if anybody remembers how Weaver cars used to come apart real easy, you could just kind of twist them and the chassis would pop off. They did that so you could add weight. They knew their cars were really light. If you've got 072 or greater curves, you don't need to add weight or change couplers on your Weaver products. They're fine. If you're running it on tighter stuff, yes. But the way you can tell the difference is, well, A, it's going to say, hold on, it's dark up here. You can kind of see in there, CMP, Crown Model Products. And at the end of the cars, let me flip them over there, you're going to have 4 screws versus that friction fit. So that's how you can tell the difference between an early Weaver and a Crown Model product. If you have a Weaver car that has those 4 screws, it used to be a Crown Model product. So, I know that doesn't really matter to most people, but hey, for us 90 guys, that's pretty cool. So, there we go. Yeah, can't figure out how to put stuff on a track. All right, so another reason I really like this car, this has the correct colors. Most of the time when you see Pacific Fruit Express cars, they're more of that orange, like that Santa Fe car, and they have a black roof. This kind of two-tone orange is 100% correct. That's why I like this car. If I find more, I will definitely buy them. So, anyway, on to the next one. This is another Crown Model Products. Obviously, Santa Fe. This actually was a custom run for that Peterson supply that I always talk about, in my custom run video. So, just a little bit better decoration than a normal Crown model product. If you go in there, you see how it's got little lines painted in there to make it look like the doors actually open and stuff like that, even though they don't. Not present on the Pacific Fruit Express. And this is one of the map, like the map series cars. The other side has the Santa Fe system map on it, so pretty cool. On to the next one. This is another Crown Model Products unit. I found this last year, brand new in a box, and I paid $10 for it. So, you guys can find these, and I recommend these. These are nice cars. I mean, these are what I would call like a filler car. So, like, if you have a layout you show to people or whatever, have this on the inside loop or something, so people aren't, like, wanting to grab them and look. But, I mean, they're fine. They're full-scale size. They're well-built. I think they got decent decoration. As you can see, the ladder's separate and everything there. Grabs are molded in, but there's nothing wrong with them. So I got a really good laugh when I bought this car, because my wife's looking at it, and she's like, "Jokey." So somebody tomorrow in Joker's live stream ask me what jokey is. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to say it in a YouTube video. All right, on to the next one. I know this isn't wood-sided, but I just wanted to share this guy. This is right when Kline started getting into scale stuff. This was one of their first offerings. Fragile as shit. As you can see, a lot of stuff's broken off there. But this came out about the same time. See down there, remember my Denver and Rio Grande F3s? This came out about that same time, so 96, 97, right when, I should say right when Kline was getting into scale freight stuff. They had already had the scale heavyweight cars and everything, but those fragile little shit handles and everything all work and open in the hatches and everything, so nice car, nice car. But anyway, on to the next one. Now we're getting into my old crap, so who cares? Always needed a Hams car, so obviously this is from the MPC era. This car is a year newer than I am, so 1975, you can see there. When it comes to swilling beers, which is what I call cheap stuff, Hams was always my favorite. Over Keystone and some of the other things you guys like. But, comes from the land of sky blue waters, and it's the beer refreshing. So, MTH made a scale version of this car, which I am on the hunt for, because I've actually seen this was a real car. I've seen Hams reefers in real life, so retired obviously, but pretty cool. So then rounding out, this is another Lionel. I believe this is LTI era. I think this came out of that, well, you can see the locomotive way the hell down there at the other end. Fallen Flags number 5. It was the Great Northern, had the EP5 locomotive and freight set. I still have all of it, of course. My dad thought that was cool, so that's why he grabbed that. I've explained in other videos, my dad was from Duluth, Minnesota, so he always liked Great Northern, Northern Pacific, DM and IR, Milwaukee Road, any of the stuff that ran up in that upper Midwest area. So cool little car, still in good shape, a little nicer than the Hams car, because it's got good die-cast trucks and couplers and all that stuff. But it's wood-sided, so that's why it's here. So, and then following it up, we just have and this actually is from my father's original train set in, I don't know, 53, 54 or whatever. I think the caboose says 53. But I do have the locomotive that goes with this and everything, so anyway, it's the only Pennsylvania caboose I have, so that's why I put it on. But anyway, that's my little rant. I will shut up. Let's go ahead and run a couple trains.